Hi everyone. Welcome to the mock test series of ISA IEC 62443 Cybersecurity Fundamentals Specialist exam. So in this video, I will be sharing a mock test to help you practice and get a feel for the types of question you might encounter in the exam. But let me be clear upfront. These are not the actual exam questions. I have created this mock test based on my experience and also the IC32 knowledge check that ISA provides on their website. If you haven't heard of it, the IC32 knowledge check is a great way to evaluate your understanding of the course material and get a sense of the kinds of questions that you will need to answer after completing the course. So I will be showing where to navigate through these questions. My goal here is to help you practice, learn, feel confident about the exam. But remember, this is just for educational purposes only. These are not the exact exam questions. So do your due diligence, verify the concepts, and discuss the answer with your peers or in the comment section below. Yeah, in this video, what I'll cover is, I'll give you a quick breakdown for the 62443 Cybersecurity Fundamentals Specialist exam training syllabus overview, that is from the IC32, and explain how I have prepared these questions based on the key concept from each module, and then I will highlight the key modules and topics you should focus on while preparing for the exam. And finally, I'll present a series of multiple choice questions, and for each question, we'll go with the correct answer along with explanation to help you understand the reasoning behind it. So, this is to give you a clear roadmap for this video and help you make the most of it, of the practice sessions. Quick disclaimer. The views and opinions shared in this video are solely my own and don't necessarily reflect those of any organizations I am associated with. This content is for the educational purposes only and should not be considered as a professional advice. While I have made every effort to ensure that the information is accurate, plus please do your own research and consult with professionals for specific guidance. Thank you. The Now let's take a look at the IC32M syllabus. The training is titled as using the 62443 standard to secure your industrial control systems. So this one is, it's a self-paced modular online course. It will be easier for you to follow and well structure for a comprehensive understanding of the cybersecurity for industrial control systems. It is divided into 12 modules and covering key aspects of 62443 standards, and also it provides you two CEUs. Upon completion, you will receive the course completion certificate. Once you get that, you can send a course completion certificate to the ISA to get the exam code. And what can you expect to learn from this course is to understand the 62443 standard and risk assessment methodologies, security policy development, defense in-depth strategies, and then patch management, secure software development, security verification. I'll show you once you go to isa.org. Uh, there is a cybersecurity program. So these links, anyways, I'll put it in the video description so you can navigate. So as I explained in my previous videos on 62443, there are four modes of training. One is classroom, virtual, instructor guided, and self-paced modular. But so currently, what I'm navigating through is self-paced modular online, which I opted. So you will have 1 year access to this course, but you will get all the modules presentation in the PDF format. You can keep it for ready reference. So as you can see, there are 12 modules. Module 1 talks about control system security and standards. So you can read out whenever you have time. And what are the resources they have included? 1-1, 2-1, 3-3. And then this is the book that they have referred to create this, and there are some prerequisite. So I was talking about IC32 knowledge check. So click on this link. It will take you to the form, and you can see number of questions. So you can submit all the questions. So I'll run through some of these questions. Also, I have created my own questions based on my experience. So let's straight away get into that. Yeah, before moving to the question, one more important thing, so that you will have a better understanding of the key modules to focus, right? First, I want to emphasize that all 12 modules are important. Each one contributes to, building a solid understanding of the concepts required for this certification. But based on my experience and interaction with others preparing for this exam, so I have assigned some priority levels like P1, P2, P3 to the modules. So P1 is module are the one I recommend that focus the most. Maybe you can expect some trickier questions or require a deeper understanding of the key concepts. P2 modules are also important, but maybe a bit easier or to grasp, especially if you have already worked on 62443 implementations. And P3 modules are still essential, but you might not need to spend as much as time revising them compared to P1 and P2. But now, if you are, already uh, familiar with this 62443 through hands-on work or some theoretical knowledge, you might find some of these modules are easier to navigate. But for most people I have interacted with who are looking to understand 62443 from the ground up, so this prioritization can really helpful to guide your efforts. Also, I would like to highlight one of the important point is these priorities are purely based on my understanding and experience. So it might vary from individual to individual depending on their background and familiarity with these concepts. So as you go through the syllabus, make sure you review everything, but put a little extra effort into a higher priority module, so it will help you tackle some tougher questions and understand the more complex concepts more effectively. So I have assigned the priorities, like you can note of it. uh, so there are 12 modules, so you can make a note of P1, P2, P3. You can take a screenshot and keep it for ready reference. So here is your first question. A three-tier network segmentation design that prevents direct communication between the enterprise network and the process control network by creating a buffer is also known as, your options are zones and conduits, DMZ, perimeter firewall, and ICS firewall. So take your time and guess the answer. So the correct answer is DMZ, right? I'll submit. So DMZ is the right answer. Why? Because it is a demilitarized zone is a network architecture that acts as a buffer or intermediary zone between two networks with two different security requirements. So in this case, we have two network. One is enterprise network and the process control network. So the purpose of DMC is, to prevent direct communication between these two networks, or maybe while allowing limited or controlled access to specific resources like servers or services needed for operational tasks. And why other options are not right? Because zones and conduits refers to logical grouping of assets and the communication pathway between them, as defined in the 62443 standard. And perimeter firewall is a single layer of defense, typically placed at the edge of the network. And ICS firewall is a specialized firewall for industrial control system, but it does not inherently imply the three-tier segmentation design. So the DMZ is the best fit for the description in this question. So here is the next question. What are the main types of intrusion detection system? Host intrusion detection and intrusion prevention systems, perimeter intrusion detection and network intrusion detection, intrusion prevention and network intrusion detection, host intrusion and network intrusion detection. So what is the best answer out of these? I'll take a pause. Yes, the right answer is host intrusion detection and network intrusion detection. These are the main ones. I mean, in general. So these are, host intrusion detection basically installed on individual devices or host, such as servers or workstations, and monitor for the suspicious activity. Network intrusion detection system, this operates at the network level, monitoring traffic between devices to detect any anomalies or threats or breaches. And why are other options are incorrect? Uh, so perimeter intrusion detection, which is not a specific IDS type, it is a perimeter detection is more associated with the physical security systems and intrusion prevention systems, right? This is with the HID, while IPS is a related concept, but it's focused on preventing intrusions rather than detecting them. And you know, again, intrusion prevention, which will block the, which is not good for control system. So understanding between HIDS and network intrusion detection is the key. So you will learn in your training modules. So the next question is, what is the desired outcome of the initiate a CSMS program activity? CSMS is Cyber Security Management System. That's from the 2-1, 62443 2-1 standard. So your choices are conduct periodic IACS conformance audits, conceptual diagram that shows how an AD forest that can be attacked, obtain leadership commitment, support and funding, identify the software agents used by the threat agent to propagate attacks. So I'll take a pause. The right answer is yes. Obtain the leadership support and funding. The reason is, so the key word here is initiate a CSMS program and desired outcome of the initiate, right? There are various steps in CSMS program, but here we are talking about initiate. So it lying the, initiation always it's a groundwork for a successful cybersecurity management systems. So we need leadership commitment, like obtaining the necessary support or funding to implement and sustain the program effectively. And leadership buy-in, is critical because it ensures that the program has the resources and authority needed to drive the meaningful cybersecurity initiatives. And other, like for example, AD Forest, it refers to a technical analysis or incident response, I would say. Uh, the other options. So hence obtaining leadership commitment and support funding is the right answer. Next question. A network that uses a public telecommunication infrastructure such as the internet to provide remote networks or computers with secure access to another network is known as VLAN, VPN, VSAT and VNC. So the, as you can see the question, read carefully. Uses a public telecommunication infrastructure, example is internet, to provide remote networks or computers with secure access. So here is the key is internet, remote, secure. So the right answer is VPN. Yes. So virtual private network, it allows a secure communication over a public network like internet by encrypting, the data traffic between your remote users and the private networks they are connecting to, right? So VPNs are widely used to secure remote access, especially in industrial environments, where operators, engineers, or other third-party vendors need to access control system from outside the facilities. And why other options are incorrect? The VLAN, virtual local area network, it says segments the traffic within the private network. So it does not provide remote access over a public infrastructure. And the VSAT, virtual, very small aperture terminal, refers to the satellite communications, which is, unrelated to security remote access. And VNC is virtual network computing. It's a remote desktop sharing technology that doesn't inherently offer the security features providing by a VPN, right? So here is the next question. Security service system that monitors and analyzes system events for the purpose of finding, providing a real-time or near real-time warning of attempts to access system resources in an unauthorized manner is called IDS, firewall, router, antivirus software. So the right answer is IDS. Why? Because it is specifically intrusion detection system specifically designed to monitor and analyze the system for events specifically for suspicious activity or unauthorized access attempts. And also it provides real-time or near real-time alerts to notify administrator about any potential security breaches. And firewall, this is also critical for network security, but their primary function is to block the unauthorized access based on the predefined rules. And router directs the data packets within the network or between networks. Antivirus software is it protects the system by identifying and removing the any malicious software, but it does not provide any real-time monitoring for any unauthorized access or attempts like an IDS tools. So the right answer is intrusion detection system. So here is the standard question which often we see. Which of the following is the correct risk equation? So risk is equal to threat into asset into consequence, or risk is threat into vulnerability into cost, or risk is threat into vulnerability into consequence, or a risk is threat agent into threat into vulnerability. So the right answer is risk is equal to threat into vulnerability into consequence. Why? The equation is widely accepted way of defining risk in the context of cybersecurity and risk management, because the threat is the potential for any incident or event that could harm the system, and vulnerability is nothing but your weakness in the system, and consequence the impact or damage resulting from the threat exploiting the vulnerability. So risk is the combination of these three factors. So the next question is, the desired level of security for a system is known as target security level, achieved security level, capability security level, and protection level. This is from 62443. So SLT or SLA or SLC. So which is the right answer? The desired level of security for a system. So the right answer is the target security level. Why? Because it refers to the desired level of security that a system should achieve to meet the operational compliance and risk management goals. So what it represents is the goal or benchmark for a securing a system against any identified threat or vulnerabilities. And what are achieved security level is the actual level of security that has been implemented and verified in the system. And capability is not recognized as a achieved, or it's a capability. So it's a system's ability to meet any certain security requirements. And the protection level is a general term but not specific to the desired security level in this context. So the right answer is SLT, that is target security level. So here is your next question. What is the primary responsibility of the transport layer of the OSI model, Open System Interconnection model? It handles the routing of data packets between the networks, or it ensures the reliable data transfer including error detection and flow control, or it manages the rules for framing and converting electrical signals to data, or defines a physical connection between devices. So what is the right answer? So the right answer is reliable data transfer and including error detection and flow control. Uh, because transport layer is layer 4 of the OSI model is responsible for any reliable data transfer between the devices that include error detection, uh, even correction and flow control. So to ensure that the data is delivered accurately and in correct sequence. And see, other options are which, for example, which handles the routing, and the this one for the data link, which layer which manages framing and converting electrical signals, and finally the physical connection, obviously layer 1. So hence the layer 4 transport layers primary responsibility is the reliable data transfer. So here is the question: which activities are included in the ISA 62443 implement phase? So as you know, there are three phases: assess, design and implement, and maintain. So we are talking about implement phase. So your choices are development of the cybersecurity management system, that is CSMS, and risk assessment, development of zones and conduits and detailed cyber risk assessment, implementation of cybersecurity countermeasure and system acceptance testing, and implementation of cybersecurity policy and ongoing monitoring of the cybersecurity performance. So what is the right answer, guys? So the right answer is implementation of cybersecurity countermeasure and system acceptance testing. Why? Because in the it focus implement phase focuses on deploying cybersecurity countermeasures to mitigate the identified the risk, and also includes the testing the system to ensure that implemented security controls meet the whatever we defined in the functional design specification, and others are part of assess and maintain phase. So here is the last question for this video. Which layer of the OSI model defines the rules for handling the Modbus application protocol, in short MBAP? Network layer, application layer, transport layer, or presentation layer? So the right answer is application layer. The reason is the application layer is responsible for defining the rules and structure of protocols that enable communication between the applications. So here is the question asked about Modbus application protocol, because it operates at the application layer. So specifying the format and the content of the request and response used in the Modbus communication. Why not others? Network layer manages packet routing between devices, not application level protocols. And the transport layer ensures that the reliable data delivery, but does not define any application specific rules like MBAP. And presentation layer handles the data formatting, encryption, and compression, but it is not responsible for defining any application protocols. So Modbus is widely used in industrial communication. Uh, so you give importance to this industrial protocol, uh, which is crucial, even exam point of view and even for your work point of view. Thank you so much for watching. That's it for this video. I'll be continuing with the next set of question in the next video, that is mock test 2 of the fundamental specialist series. So make sure to stay tuned for more practice question and explanation to help you on your certification journey. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel and stay updated on the new content. Thanks again. See you in the next video.